What's going on, folks? I'm VK Jones for CoahomaSports.com, and we have some special guests right here with me right now, members of the 2017 Coahoma football team that played key parts to the team this year, who made some improvements a whole lot, and going to be a bright future for somebody else's school coming up next season. My guests, sophomores, Cecil Cherry and also Davion Taylor. How y'all doing, fellas?
Good.
Great. We appreciate you taking the time out to join us. And it's almost close to the time that you guys have to decide on a school, decide on your futures. It's amazing that you two guys are being offered to go play on the next level of college football. And let's talk a little bit about this season pass. 2-8 on the year. A lot of positives because every game this year you played all the way to the end. Let's start with you, Davion. What are your thoughts to the season? And at the same time, is it bigger and brighter days for Coahoma Community College?
Well, I think it is because this season we had a whole bunch of sophomores, so we're going to be losing a lot of people on the football team. But we all played hard. We stayed every game we stayed in mostly till halftime. We had a few careless mistakes that caused the game every game, some of the games. So I believe that in the future we have a very bright future.
Well, Cecil, question to you is, from the first game to the last game, did you thought your experience at Coahoma, starting at linebacker, leading the way for the Coahoma Community College Tigers, was everything that is meant up to be?
Yes, sir. Careless mistakes at times on the field and special teams. That's what I preach to them more, because going to the next level, special teams is a big part. That's how you get to the NFL, what most people don't know from my past experience. But coming on with Coach Miller and the staff and Davion Taylor, with everybody, I learned we got to build more brotherhood, and we built that more brotherhood to set a record with winning the first game at Coahoma. The defense is going to be bright. There's a lot of freshmen that played. We got a lot of sophomores that's getting sent off to college. So, it shows you that if you come in and work, the coach is going to look after you too, not just get the ones to the big schools. They're going to worry about everybody because everybody equals to them on and off the field.
Now, you look at, despite 2 wins, 1 more the year before, you guys were competitive all year long. And, it was interesting every week, game by game. And let me start with you, Cecil. Can you tell us which game to you was more interesting than anything else in your experience?
Northwest. When we went down to Northwest, I had just transition over to outside linebacker, and it was shocking because they didn't know that I was going to be on the edge and mixing with the Mike with Taylor, us making plays, and Ray John Franklin and Q in the whole smash game, because we call ourselves LBU, smash game. But at the same time, we all came together on defense, and we was like, man, we don't care if they got top 3 bats, we're going to come bring it to them. That's what defense did. It's just careless mistakes at times, but defense, we was on the game.
So what was your interesting experience, Davion, during the season? It could be any game, maybe homecoming, because it seemed like that was an interesting experience myself.
Yes, but in my opinion, I think it was Holmes. The reason why, because they had one of the top 5 offenses in the nation, and the defense was able to stop it. They didn't score until the 4th quarter. Our defense played hard, played fast, and then they didn't have nothing else to run. So I believe that was the best experience for me this season.
Yeah, and Holmes was a very good game, and came down to the wire. Almost a big upset for Coahoma, but at the same time, it was still progress for the defense. And, most of the time, the defense really held their end of the ball game all year long. But despite all that, the last game of the season, when you guys got it done against Delta, pitched to shutout. And at the same time, your teammate Josh Johnson over 300 yards of the day. Can you tell us about the experience of homecoming, from the victory all the way to the week of homecoming? Let's start with you, Davion, with that question.
Well, we was coming in, we had our eyes set. We got to win homecoming. It's the last game of the season. So that whole week we worked hard, we worked our butt off, and we studied film. We did everything correct that week. And on game day, we was just ready to play. Came out there, we started with high intensity. We banged the ball, scored first drive, and then we just kept going up from there. We had very few mistakes. We didn't give up any points. So I just think we played the best game of the season that game.
What about you, Cecil?
Oh, I think it was fantastic because you felt the bond of everybody saying, like, giving in the whole week, not just the game. In the preparation for the game, you seen more players studying film, more walkthroughs. You seen that everybody wanted this win and knew we needed this win to be a big win for Coahoma to win their first home game, especially on homecoming. Because at the same time, like, by halftime, man, you've seen joy from all the players' faces, big smiles, because we know sophomores that we did something that we the first one to make it happen, to win the first home game at Coahoma. So, I mean, with Josh, and we call him beast mode, running like that, they thought he was running the air out the football, and defense making us stop like we always do. And I think that we came together and we smiled, and it was different because we never just really danced before a game, and we were dancing the whole game, even halftime, so you just knew that everybody was happy and excited.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an interesting day in itself, especially before the game and after the game. Fans all over the place enjoying themselves right here in Clarksdale, Mississippi, for the big homecoming weekend of Coahoma Community College. But after the season, you know what I'm saying, a lot of improvement, but at the same time, what you can say, and all I'm gonna say is this, ladies and gentlemen in Tiger Nation, the two gentlemen you're seeing right here are members of the all MAC JC team. 7 players, count them, 7 from Coahoma Community College made the team. Both of these guys made first team on defense, and also Cecil, congratulations to you also as well as being one of the players of the year in the MAC JC as well.
Thank you, man. Congratulations to it. It's not just about me, it's about the whole defense that I needed. Taylor help, Bristol help, Mon, Davion. I needed all of them help, all the defense, Tony Nelson and Ray John and Bristol. I keep going on with plenty names. Josh Joyner, Casey Hankins, all them. They let that happen for me by taking on a risk of taking on blocks so I can come down here and make plays. But at the same time, I congratulate myself because my mom, it made me cry because my mom was sitting there crying at the same time saying, son, you back to you again. Because the year of my spring semester, I was at University of South Florida, and I had a few things happen, and next thing you know, I just had to tell my mom I'm losing the fun for football. But when I came back and Coach Miller came to my house, he was like, I'm gonna graduate your son in December. He gonna come and handle business. He gonna make All-American, all that happen. And that's nothing but God. Without God, none of that would happen. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, I'm just happy about it. And then I get to know that I can always come back to a home because I left a legacy. And I want somebody else to try to beat off the team that played me this past season.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, you also made all region as well, so great job by you, Davion. Your thoughts of making the All-MAC JC team this year? You really came along like early in the season, but the second half, you just went all out.
Oh yes, sir. I just like you said, I thank God for just putting me in this opportunity. And then without the D-line, like we wouldn't have had nothing. Linebacker, you can't be great linebackers without a great D-line. Like special shout out to all of them, like from Kemp to Bristol, all the D-line, because without them taking on them blocks, we wouldn't be able to come down here, make the tackles, and be free. And I just thank everybody, all the coaches and everything, because I was a walk-on, so I didn't expect to have a great sophomore season, because my freshman season I barely played. I started the last 3 games, but I just decided to work my butt off to just be great.
What a linebacking core, you know, you two and Rajon Franklin, you know, y'all really set the tone for the defense. So, you know, I commend you guys and the whole Coahoma defense. And, you know, talk a little, you know, we talk a little bit about what happened in the season and all that, but going forward now, you know, I wanted to ask you, what made you guys choose Coahoma Community College to come here and represent Tiger Nation and also playing for Coach Stephen Miller? Let's start with you, Davion.
Well, honestly, I didn't play high school football, so I had tried out for Southwest and tried out for Colin, and I didn't have no other options. I didn't even know about Coahoma. And then a coach called one of my coach's phone looking for some more players, and I came up here, I tried out, so that I was preferred walk-on. So I really thank Coahoma because they the only one who really gave me an opportunity to play, and I done came a long way. I especially shout out to Coach Miller because he gave me a scholarship and gave me an opportunity to play, and I'm just thankful.
Cecil, let's go to you. Same question. What made you come here to Coahoma Community College?
When I first chose Coahoma, I was finna go to East Mississippi, and one of my defense coordinators from high school called me, and he was like, "Cecil, where you going?" I was leaving from University of South Florida. I said, "Coach, I don't know, I'm going to East Mississippi." He said, "No, I got something better for you. You go in day one, and you know how you is. You're a natural leader. You make plays. Everybody around you like to make plays, and I got somewhere for you." So Coach Bam, being from the area that I'm from, Florida, Polk County is like 45 cities in one county. And Coach Bam gave me a call, and then when I started talking with Coach Bam, Coach Shell, and Coach Miller, and Coach Welch, and then I was like, "Well, Coach, I'm feeding, I believe what you got going." And once I committed to them on spot, I was always with them. It had all the other schools like Mississippi Gulf Coast, all them calling me like, "Coahoma suck, they ain't win a game. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing, this and that." I'm like, "All right, Coach." Because at University of South Florida, the year that I didn't go, the 2 years I go, they were sorry. But at the same time, my last 2 years I was there, we won a bowl game, and we beat the SEC team last year. So it ain't about too much about the win and losses to go to get looked. It's about when you go to produce, because at the same time, that program could be good, but if you ain't producing, you ain't getting nothing out of it. And that's what I learned coming from Division I, listening to the coaches. But I got my faith back, and that was more important for me because I came here and dominated like I did out of high school. But I had my shares of plays at the University of South Florida, setting records on weights. I was second league tackle on the defense, but took pride in special teams and had a NFL team notice me. But at the same time that I said, you know what, I had this brother that got kicked out, was supposed to go first round out of Texas, offensive tackle. He went down to D1. He went down to D1 AA, and now he's got invited to the Reese Bowl game. The NFL scouts looking at him because he was like, "Bro, you go anywhere, it don't matter, as long as you produce." And that's what I came and did, produce and handle business. And now it's for somebody else to try to beat the records. I gotta beat the record that the sophomore class got. It would make me more happy because I know Coach Miller took his time to build the program up. It didn't just sprout up. You got a baby cry. It got to crawl before you try to walk with a program.
Well, you mentioned the Reese's Senior Bowl that your brother being represented, so that's unbelievable. And at the same time, you come from a football family too, and you know, why don't you tell Tiger Nation who is a part of your big time football family?
Well, I got a big time. I had my brother played in the NFL right now, Demetrius Cherry. He was with the Oakland Raiders now. I got my godfather, Ray Lewis. Got Uncle Warren Sapp that played. Alvin Harper out of Frostproof, uncle. Got Travis Henry out of Frostproof, uncle. We had stayed in 3 houses from each other. And then I got a friend, Nikhil Coleman Roby for the Rams right now, current. I know a lot of people networking, and Uncle Earl Campbell. I know a lot of people, man. And it's at the same time, as long as you network and don't have that stubborn, like, "Oh, I can't communicate," when you get to people, because at the same time, them same people gonna admit you and be like, "Keep going, you need to do this." They're not just gonna tell you what you wanna hear, but they gonna check on your grades, not just all about football. They gonna wanna know about your life, what you wanna do. Like me and Ray, so we read Bible scripture, we don't just talk about football. So, and it made me go that harder being a kid that come from Polk County, knowing that, oh, they looking up to me, I'm looking up to them too, and I'm learning stuff. So it's making my mom say, "Son, I want to be like my son, ahead of things." But I mean, I got a big football family tree, but at the same time, I'm trying to be the next one that make it.
It's amazing at Coahoma Community College, and it's a rarity where you have an athlete that has a whole lot of bloodlines come into this school, And it's a great sign that Coahoma is on the way up right here in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Davion and Cecil, I'm gonna ask you this one last question before we shut things down. Recruiting has been going on in the off season and everything else for Coahoma. First of all, let's talk about Coahoma before we talk about your futures. What's been the progress? How things have been going with the recruiting process at Coahoma Community College that we bring some more great athletes to come here and the winning finally comes to Coahoma?
I had a lot of players hit me up from the universities talking about transfer. I got about 3 every day. I send them to coaches. I say, they're like, man, when them coaches, they got you like that. I say, and they're like, they believed in you. I say, man, look, man, you should go where coaches gonna care about you on and off the field. Ain't nobody gonna do that better than Coach Miller on JUCO wise, because I think that if Coach Miller was at a university program, he'd get a lot of kids like me, because at the same time, as long as you show that you still care once you sign them and give them a shot to come handle business, that's the difference. They don't handle business. That's the thing about Coach Miller. I hear about other JUCOs, they don't even care about you. Like my recent friend that left at a woman at another JUCO in Arizona, he said, man, I ain't got no offers. I had about 8 picks. I'm like, well, man, your coach got you there to play you. I told you to come with Coach Miller, because there's people that care about you outside of football. Make sure you get your degree in whatever you're trying to get in education-wise.
Absolutely. Davion, same question.
Oh yeah, it's like you said, it's recruiting wise. Like it's players been texting me, calling me, asking me like how it is at Coahoma. Like Cecil said, like it don't matter. We probably didn't have the best season, but like you're gonna get recruited outside of Coahoma, and the coaches actually care. And like even if it's just an NAIA school or if it's just a D2, D3, it doesn't matter. As long as you're gonna get a scholarship after this, if you just go to the classroom and then produce on the field just a little, like if you just have a little field, like you'll be able to have scholarships. And the coaches, like you said, Coach Miller, like he really cared.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But man, I know Coach Miller. He has done outstanding stuff for you guys and for all the football team, all the stuff that this staff does at Coahoma Community College, on the field, off the field, in the classroom, in the community, everywhere. They're doing all they can to be on the rise all across the nation and the world. And also, you know, saying he always had the football team has had some interesting experiences that I had to discover myself, you know what I'm saying, including the well-known milk and cookies. But regardless of that, it's a good thing that they do that. It's the fact that it kind of reminds the young men about their childhood. So regardless of that, let me ask you guys about your futures. What schools are looking at y'all and what offers that is on the table? I'm gonna start with you, Davion.
Well, I'm actually, right now I'm verbally committed to the University of Colorado, but I'm still weighing my options down. I brought it down to 3 schools, which is Ole Miss, Missouri, and then Colorado still. I don't really know actually like where I'm gonna actually sign yet, but it's out of them 3 schools. But the offers I had overall, I had them 3. I had Washington, I had Middle Tennessee, Memphis, USM, UTSA, and USC. Them are the only offers I had, but like I said, it's just producing on the field and you get offers.
Wow.
The coaches will make sure of that.
Amazing. What about you, Cecil?
For me, it's the second time for me. The first time, I was an ESPN kid, top Florida kid that had everybody in the country, Alabama. My first offer was in the 8th grade from the University of Florida. But I had signed with Texas. But coming here to Coahoma, leaving South Florida, I had Washington offer me, FAU, Memphis, a lot of schools, but at the same time I verbally committed to Grambling State just because I felt that same atmosphere coming from Coach Miller, from Coach Falls, from his style. And then I didn't just choose about football. I chose for my second time around, God gave me a wake-up call and say, focus on your education too, son. And that's why I've been focusing on when I've been redshirted. When I sat out, I had to go through a whole year of training of just working out. So I'm like, I'm gonna go release my stresses in the book. And once I release all that, I'm good because I'm ahead in the ball game. And that's the thing, I want to be a mortician, so I picked Grambling State just because the former John Miller Funeral Home He's the only black funeral in the state of Louisiana. He's a Grambling State alumni. I'm gonna be working with him, working on my mortician license in a year, or get my permits, and then I'm gonna take up coaching and be a coach somewhere on the staff, if it's in the NFL, GA, college, anywhere. So I have 2 different degrees in 2 years.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, that is something, and it's a rarity, ladies and gentlemen, when you see that football players have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. See, that's where football players and athletes need to wake up in America, that there's always a plan A and a plan B. It's amazing stuff to hear from these 2 guys here, Davion Taylor, Cecil Cherry. Congratulations to you 2 guys, and we wish you luck on whoever you sign with. And these guys got to sign in a couple weeks, because they will be heading to their schools in January. That is the amazing part about these 2 guys. They are eligible and ready to go. So, Cecil, Davion, thank you so much for joining us. I'm VK Jones for CoahomaSports.com.